This week I'm visiting the Blackwater Valley in the southeast of Ireland, home to Ireland's second largest river, the Blackwater. I'm travelling along a stretch of the river to understand the interdependence between the natural environment and local Irish business. Respect for the ecology of the river catchment has maintained a bountiful fish stock, which has in turn created business and employment around this natural resource. As a special area of conservation, the Blackwater requires regular monitoring. One indicator of good water quality is the presence of rare native species.
We have peregrine falcon, of course, nesting here on the river. Further upriver, we have things like long-eared owl, barn owl. So there's a good variety of birds of prey that occur here, that have been recorded here, and so on. So it's pretty good, and it's a good indication too of the habitat and so on, and of the general health of the ecosystem when you get species like that. As you move down the river between Cappoquin and Newport, either side of the river you have alluvial wet woodland, which is primarily made up of white willow, almond willow.
I finally found out how the Blackwater got its name.
The river gets its dark colour from the peats that are occurring on some of the tributaries back west. The river itself rises in East Kerry and it travels into County Waterford.
Protection of the River Blackwater has ensured its name as Ireland's premier salmon fishing destination, attracting thousands of visitors each year. I'm staying at the Blackwater Lodge in Ballyduff to see how local businesses are playing a valuable role in educating visitors and caring for the environment. So what sort of people come here?
They come from all over Europe, the States. The furthest away we've had, I'd say, is Japan and Australia. We'll head off down to the river. Glenda has all of the flies and everything down there, and of course all the expertise to go with it.
I'm getting my first ever fly fishing lesson from champion Irish lady angler Glenda Powell, who teaches fly fishing to visitors from all over the world. Glenda told me about a number of environmental educational projects that she's developed for young people. So do you teach adults and children, everybody?
I do, yes, and recently, within the last year, I set up the Fish Start programme for girls here on the Blackwater, or for any child actually. The course was covering everything to try to make the kids aware of pollution, basic entomology, what does live in the river, but it's very important that the water stays clean, because without clean water then of course the salmon or the trout or any other fish in the river will not be able to survive. So Tania, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you the double spey cast. Up, over and down, good, around, up and out. Good. The reason why we go to the river is because it's peaceful and it's to get away from normal life and all of the normal chores that we all have to do. And if you stand still long enough, then what you get is you become one with nature. You begin to see all sorts of things that you wouldn't be seeing if you were just walking past. So let's do the entire cast. Ready? Up, over and down. Good. Around. Up. Wait and cast. Yes. Oh, just tap the top rope. Okay.
It's easy to see that environmental education is essential for long-term protection of this natural resource.
Yes, just lie the left, right in the river. It's nearly ready to come in.
The whole way in.
You ready? Lift. The more you fish, the more the fish become your friends. And you start to put them back in again. And so most of my fish I would return. It's important that we try and keep what we have for future generations.
I had a pretty. That was so cool. I didn't think I'd get to see a fish. A salmon. Situated along the banks of the River Blackwater sits the historic Lismore Castle. Here, the habitat of the Blackwater is characterised by woodland, managed by the Devonshire estate, which has owned Lismore Castle since the 18th century. The estate is famous for having Ireland's oldest gardens set on 7 acres of land within the castle's 17th century defensive walls. I'm going to visit the yew garden, home to trees of over 300 years old. The Blackwater's success as a fishing destination has allowed the expansion of its tourism economy into a successful local food industry, which promotes itself with events like the Waterford Harvest Festival and the Waterford Food Festival coming up in April. I'm meeting with Wexford businesswoman Margaret Jeffers, who founded the food tourism company Good Food Ireland. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Tania.
How are you?
Lovely to meet you.
You too. So tell me about the Good Food Company.
The whole idea of Good Food Ireland and what we're trying to do is to promote Ireland, or the island of Ireland, as a destination for good food to international visitors. Thank you, Helen. To international visitors and to Irish people. We want to have an eclectic mix for the food lover. So everything from a B&B to a 5-star hotel, to restaurants, pubs, cafes, cookery schools, food shops and food producers.
So where did you get the idea to set up Good Food Ireland?
Well, I come from a farming background from County Clare, and I live on a farm in Wexford, and my husband is a blackcurrant grower, so he's a food producer as well. It was very much then about linking agriculture, the farmers, the food producers and the fishermen with the hospitality sector.
The South East seems to have such a vast variety of local foods.
Absolutely, and we have a wonderful international reputation for good food, but what we haven't had a reputation of Ireland as a destination for food within the tourism sector. Obviously here we are in a recession, and you've got agriculture and you've got tourism, our two biggest economies in this country. These are the people that are going to bring this country out of the recession.
The southeast of Ireland has managed to successfully link all of its greatest attributes, fishing, food and heritage, and use them to strengthen its region's economy. And as we've seen on the River Blackwater, conservation and protection are vital for this success.
For more information on environmental education, go to epa.ie/education. In our next episode, we look at how we're going to meet Europe's emission reduction targets by 2020 and at the same time protect our fragile economy.